Hey guys, happy October. I don't know about you guys, but I am just feeling so refreshed and rejuvenated with the change in seasons. Temperatures are cooling down. It's my favorite time of year. So I'm just feeling ready for quarter four of 2022. I think it's going to be a good next few months. I can feel it. And with it being a new month, that means it is time for my Project Pan update. So I have a really exciting update for you today. I have two rollouts, two empties. Both of the empties are, okay, neither of them is 100% finished yet, but they're both so close to being finished. Like, we're talking 1 to 2 more uses left in these items, so I've decided to go ahead and roll new products in to replace them just because we're getting closer to the end of the year, and I want to keep the momentum going. I'm feeling really motivated, so I just want to go ahead and roll some new things in. But I will also be sure to completely finish the two rollouts before I officially am done with them. So I'm really excited to share my updates with you. Let's go ahead and start out on a high note with one of my empties. So we have the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. I am just scraping at this to get any product out. One of you guys suggested that I decant the rest of this into like another container last month, but I don't think I have any containers to decant it into, so I've just been keeping it upside down and just letting it kind of fall onto the dropper, and then I'll just kind of scrape whatever is on the dropper and use that each time I use it. But lately, there's just hardly anything coming out, so I'm gonna guess there's probably another couple of uses left in here, but I have decided to go ahead and replace this with a different foundation, which I will share that at the end, my two new roll-ins. But really excited to have finished this up. I actually love this so much that I already have a backup ready to go. I've heard from some people that this can go bad quickly, but I didn't have that experience. But then again, I think I only had this open for a year. Let's see, I think I opened this in August of 2021. So a year and 2 months. That's how much I used it. I was able to use it up pretty quickly, so it didn't go bad on me, but it does say it expires July 2023. So I would guess like as long as you use it up before the expiration date. And also don't touch the dropper to your skin when you use it. I think that's the key with any kind of product with a dropper. You don't want to touch that to your face. I don't think it's meant to be used that way, so that could probably introduce like some bacteria to it that it's not really made to handle. So that would be my tip if you do have this product and you're worried about it going bad. But yeah, for me it held up really well, and I am excited to bust open my new one once this one is like fully finished. So here's the next product that I thought this would be faster to use up, but it's taking forever. Like, I just feel like I'm making such little progress every month even though I'm using it a lot. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. It's funny because I felt like I would see pretty big chunks of progress when I wasn't keeping track of my progress on this, but now that I'm actively panning it, I feel like I'm just seeing such little progress. But I think I am getting very close to being done with this. I mean, you can see, I do keep this sitting upright so you can really see through most of it. And pretty much all of the concealer is like sitting right down here. Yes, I know it looks separated. It's fine. It's been somewhat separated looking like since I got it. I do think I can have this finished by the end of the year, which is kind of what I was hoping for. We have 3 good months left of the year, so I feel like I should be able to. I use such a small amount of this on my under eyes. Lately I've also been spot concealing with it too. I think this will be done by the end of the year. I really do. Alright, so next up I have the e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. You might have seen I did repress this and I posted that on Instagram. And I have gotten so close to the end. This is what it looks like now. Like, there's barely any powder left in here. I'm filming this on October 1st. I guess if I had waited just a couple more days to film this, I probably could have had it completely finished for this video, but I just really wanted to film this video today. I was just really excited to film this update, so maybe I got a little ahead of myself, but I will go ahead and use up the rest of this. It should probably take no more than 1 or 2 more days to finish that up completely. I do really like this powder. I wouldn't say it's like my top favorite because it does cause my makeup to oxidize a little bit. Like, it just makes my makeup like half a shade darker, so it's not a big deal. But I don't think I like this as much as the CoverGirl pressed powder, the Clean Fresh pressed powder. But e.l.f. actually discontinued this anyway, so I wouldn't be able to get it again even if I wanted to. But I am happy to have another powder used up. And I'm actually down to only 2 powders in my collection now, which feels really good. And I actually did decide to replace this with another powder, even though I only have 2 others in my collection. I kind of just wanted to keep the ball rolling with going through my powders. So I will share what the next one is going to be in just a moment. But first, let me go ahead and share my progress on the rest of these items. So next up I have my favorite bronzer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in Fair. Still no pan on this, but that's okay because I've actually only had this in my collection for like not even a full year now. I think I got this in November or December of last year, so I don't want to hit pan on it too quickly because it was obviously a pretty expensive product, but I do have a nice dip going in here. I mean, I still do. I have had a nice dip going in it for a while, but it's still there. And it's such a big pan that, you know, I'm kind of just swirling my brush all throughout it rather than like just in the middle. So, you know, I think the progress is going to be gradual, but really I'm just happy to be getting use out of this because I did spend a pretty penny on it and it just feels good to be getting good use out of my expensive makeup. So I would like to hit pan on this by the end of the year, but I'm not super attached to that goal, like I said, just because it's not that old of a bronzer anyway. But I am just enjoying tracking my progress on it. I do think, you know, each month I do see just a little bit more of a dip, so hopefully soon we'll hit pan on this. If you have this bronzer and you have hit pan on it, how long did it take you to hit pan? I'd be curious. Next, I have a setting spray that is also not very old. I only bought this just earlier this year, but I use it so often that I've been making really good progress on it. This is the Makeup Revolution Fix and Glow Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I adore this setting spray. I actually probably didn't make as much progress on this as I could have this month because I did take a break from using it. So one of you guys asked if it could be this that was drying out my eyelids. Luckily, I don't think it was, especially because I'd been using this for a long time before my eyelids started getting dry, but also my eyelids, knock on wood, knock on fake wood, but luckily over the past few weeks, my eyelids have been perfectly normal. I've just been using my Eczema Honey face cream on them every morning and night, and it has kept the dryness completely under control, like non-existent. So happy to be able to report that I don't think this was the product that was drying out my eyelids, and so I can keep using it. I would have been devastated if that were the case, but I did take a week off from using this. Right now, because I always shake this before I use it, and I used it like maybe an hour ago, there's like a big layer of bubbles on the top, so it's kind of hard to tell right this minute where it's going to land once the bubbles go away. I will wait until the bubbles are gone to take a progress photo so that we can get a good idea of where it is. I haven't been drawing lines on here just because I feel like with the progress photos you can see where it is in there, so I don't really need to draw a line. I will if there's ever a product that like it seems necessary, but I don't really like drawing on my packaging. Like I would prefer not to because I just like the way it looks better without the lines, but also with stuff like this, it often will like rub off really easily with a Sharpie, so you have to go over it with nail polish, which anyway, it's like a whole ordeal. So I've just been like not bothering with that, and I feel like you're still able to see how much progress I've made in the photos. So anyway, that is where we are on that. I do think I'm on track to finish this by the end of the year. I started actively panning this in August, and when I started, I was like right at the bottom of the word glow, and I've moved quite a bit since then. So I do feel like at this rate, I should be able to finish up the rest by the end of the year. So I'm gonna keep aiming for that goal, and yeah, we'll just see how we do. So next we have my Pan That palette, which is my ABH Norvina palette. So I did not hit any new pans this month. I did hit pan on Celestial like right after I filmed my last project pan update, so I did insert a clip showing you this pan just because it was like literally the day before I was posting my project pan update, so I was like, let's just go ahead and show them this pan so I don't have to keep it a secret all month long. So I did hit pan in Celestial, which was going to be one of my focus shades in September, but I ended up hitting pan on it like right away, like literally the first time I used it after I decided to make it a focus shade, I hit pan. So yeah, I'm telling you, if you have this palette and you're wanting to do like somewhat of an easy Pan That palette, I mean, I don't think it's easy, but the shimmers in here are some of the easiest shimmers to pan that I've ever encountered. So just an idea if you're like thinking about doing a Pan That palette with it, I do think it's a good one to do because it's very motivating to, you know, be regularly hitting pan. So I have now hit pan in 6 out of the 7 shimmers in here. The only one I haven't hit pan on is Drama, and I've only hit pan in 1 of the 7 mattes. So the mattes are definitely, I mean, I think mattes for me are usually harder than shimmers to hit pan on, but I have hit pan on base. All the other mattes, I don't think I'm going to hit pan on every single one of these before the end of the year, but I have been focusing on the shade Love. Every month I do like to pick 1 or 2 focus shades, and Love has been my focus shade since August, so for the past 2 months. And I do have quite a dip in there. Like, I think of all of the mattes in here, that's the one that I'm closest to hitting pan on. So I am going to continue focusing on Love, but I want to pick a second focus shade for October, and I'm going to pick Passion, not because I'm anywhere near hitting pan on this, but I do just want to start making some progress on Passion. And as we are getting more into the fall, I think this is just going to be the kind of shade I'll want to reach for. So even though I don't think I'll hit pan on it this month, I mean, it's highly, highly unlikely unless I used it like every single day and used it as a blush like every day in October. I still probably wouldn't hit pan on it this month, but I just want to start making a little bit of a dip in there. I would like to see more of a dip in Passion in my next project pan update. So those are going to be my 2 focus shades. I think those 2 shades work really well together. And of course I'll continue reaching into all the other shades in here as well as I see fit. And yeah, I'm excited. This makes such a good fall palette. I recently posted a video about 10 throwback palettes that I'm excited to use this fall, and this was one of them, of course. It doesn't necessarily look like a fall palette upon first glance, but to me this is one of my favorite palettes to wear in the fall. I'm actually not wearing this palette today, and I'm not really wearing a very fall look today either, but that's because I am working on a video with a custom palette that I made on the Lethal Cosmetics website. And that video should already be up, unless you're watching this as one of my channel members, which means that you got early access to this project pan update. Then this video probably isn't up yet, but it will be up soon, so stay tuned. But that's what I have on my eyes today, in case you were wondering, and I will have a tutorial on this look included in that video. So the final product before we get into the 2 new roll-ins is my Bite Yaysayer gloss in the shade Sugar Drizzle, which is just a nice clear gloss with a little bit of gold shimmer in it. And I've been making slow and steady progress on this. Last month I was like right above the eye, and now I am right below the eye. So we knocked out another letter. Now I just have to get through the B and then the very end. So I think my goal for the next month with this, it's going to be challenging, but I think I can do it, especially if I just remembered to use this more often. But I'm going to try to get all the way through the B in the next month. I think that should be doable. And I'll even reapply a little right now. This is what I have on today over my Kokie lip liner in Dusty Rose. Yeah, I just went ahead and reapplied a little bit, but I really like this gloss. It's very comfortable. I mean, like most glosses are. They call it a plumping gloss, but it's not tingly or anything. And the formula is really nothing that special, but I don't know, I like the way it looks on my lips. I like the little bit of shimmer. I feel like it just gives a really pretty dimension to my lips. And also this is one of the most satisfying lip glosses to pan because you can see exactly where you are. So yeah, this is another one I would definitely like to finish by the end of the year, which I think I can do it. I just have to remember to use it. I think I've been keeping it in my everyday makeup drawer, which is where I keep all my project pan items, but maybe I'll start just keeping it like on top of my desk here so that I see it more. I'm more inclined to use it. I do sit here. This is where I'm filming here. I also have my desk right in front of me. This is where I edit. It's where I film. It's where I do a lot of things throughout the day. So I think if I just leave it out here, hopefully I will remember to put it on more often. Even, a lot of times I'll just use a lip gloss almost like as a lip treatment. If my lips are feeling kind of dry, I'll just throw a gloss on during the day. So yeah, I'm gonna really try to make more progress on that gloss this month. Okay, so I think that brings us to the 2 products that I'm rolling in to the project. So I did decide to basically just replace both of my empties with another product in that same category. So I was actually torn between 2 different foundations to roll in. I was between my ColourPop Pretty Fresh, which I'm a little bit more than halfway done with, and my Urban Decay Hydromaniac, which I think I'm probably close to halfway done with. There's a lot of air in this tube, so it's kind of hard to tell. It feels like it's somewhere between like 2/3 full and half full, but this one is the older of the 2. So I did actually have my channel members and patrons vote on which one I should pan first, which by the way, if you do want to join, you can just click the join button underneath this video. It should be near the subscribe button down there. and you too could become a channel member and vote in these super exciting polls. And then I also have Patreon too. They're both pretty much the same. I just have both so that you can choose whichever is more convenient for you. But the votes were pretty much unanimously in favor of the Urban Decay Hydromaniac. I think mainly because this one is older, so that makes sense. I think it does make sense to start panning the older one first. So this is going to be my next one. I love both of these foundations, so I would have been happy either way, but I think that was a good choice. This is a very dewy, like light to medium coverage foundation, which I think will be good as we're getting into these colder months. My skin is probably going to get a little bit more dry soon, so I think this will be a good one to use. And I'm just excited to see how long it takes me to finish this. And I think I will draw tally marks on here just so that we can really see the progress. So right now, I mean, I think there's air in there. Like I can kind of, I don't know, I just have a feeling there's some air in here, but it seems like we are actually right about here. So it's actually more full than I would have thought. I swear there's more air in there though. I bet we'll get to a certain point and then like a big bubble of air will come out and it'll look like I just made like so much progress. But right now we're like just right above the shade name back here where it says 20 Fair. That's right about where we are. But yeah, I'm excited to start panning this. This is one of my favorite foundations, so I think it'll be a joy to work on. You might be surprised by this next roll-in, but I've decided to replace my e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. This I bought last Black Friday. So I have had it for close to a year now, and the main reason I want to start panning this is because I have heard that this powder and a lot of Kosas products do tend to go bad pretty quickly, so I just want to use it up. So like I said, I have had it for almost a year, and in that time I have flattened out the dome quite a bit. This is like a baked product, so it was domed outward pretty far, and it's definitely flatter than it was when I first got it. I'm not sure how deep the pan goes. And I know some baked products are hollow. Hopefully that's not the case with this one, because that's always a surprise when like it like randomly pops open and there's like a hole in there. That did happen with my Milani Rose powder blush a long time ago, if you remember, in one of my project pans where there was just like a hole in my blush. It looked really weird and kind of scary. But hopefully this isn't one of those baked products. But yeah, I just would really like to start seeing some progress on this and just get my money's worth out of it, because again, I did purchase this myself, so I want to get my money's worth before it expires. So that is my very exciting project pan update for October. I'm really excited not only to see how much progress I can make in the next month, but also through the end of the year, how many of these things I'll be able to finish. But thank you so much for watching today's project pan update. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye!